Peace and blessings. This is your brother Gabar, and this is I Am Fit Podcast. Man, going God's way. Are you fit to go God's way? Let's go. Let's go. Thank you for allowing me to get into your living room or your phone or podcast device, iPad, right? Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone that is listening to the sound of my voice. If it's not, I'll be talking to myself. Let's see who's out there. I see the brother The Word, brother Dean, sister Kathleen, sister Toy, Shalom, sister. I got your question in regards to the baptism. I'm going to be addressing that this weekend on the Shabbat class. Good question, by the way. But today I wanted to just come up for a little bit, because they gave me back permission to hold on, let me adjust this real quick. 2 seconds, folks. Sometimes this is let me address this. Okay. All right. Sorry. Sometimes I have to address this. I gotta put my hands. I got a calluses. All right. So welcome to the show, folks. Welcome to I Am Fit Podcast. We coming to you live from the Boogie Down Bronx. I wanted to have a quick conversation, and let me tell you why I needed to come in a little earlier than this Shabbat class, which I usually come in. Hopefully, God willing, I'll be coming back this Saturday. But I got an email that I felt I wanted to share with you guys, and I also feel that I have to kind of speak in a very cryptic way today, because what I have noticed in the last, month or so, especially with me, that my show got strike from my show that I did. I did my commentary on the Ye new song, HH. You guys could look it up. Obviously, it's very controversial. I've seen other people do it. And so I say, hey, I think this is something worth talking about. Let's talk about it. And I did it, and they struck my show. Then what I did, I have a backup channel. Those that don't know is if you go to my website or my YouTube channel, on top, you see the link, M.G.G.W Global is my backup channel, right? I did a show there. And on the same subject matter, not necessarily on the Ye song, but on this documentary that I'm almost concerned to say it out loud. And I want to, let me do something here. Because I want to show the documentary that I'm talking about, but I don't want to say it. It was a documentary that was discussing what happened in World War II, right? The name of it is Europa, the Final War. And I did a commentary on that particular subject. Now, I'm not going to go in too much into it because I don't want it to be triggered in any way, shape, or form, right? This is, I don't know if you guys remember this particular, let me put in this thumbnail. Hold on 2 seconds. Okay. Where is the other thumbnail that I did, right? On this book. Here we go. Okay, I see it here. So let me do this. Okay. Because now I'm very concerned in even, talking about that. I don't want it to be triggered. But I want to just basically real quick just kind of show you on the show. Now, you can't find these shows anymore because they took it down. But these are the shows that this is the particular, let me go here. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. I'm multitasking here. Let me go here. Okay. And let me go here. So You guys remember this particular? This is where they canceled my channel. This is the reason why they gave me a strike. This particular thumbnail and this particular show, which you can no longer find it. I don't know. I'm gonna see if I could put it in. Because sometimes it saves automatically in the Rumble account, but I gotta see if it did, and I gotta remember to keep recording or recording while I am going live, right? So I went on my other show, on my other channel, and I did this particular document. This is a document that I recommend everybody to see. It kind of opened my eyes on a different spin than what happened in World War II. However, though, um, I want to have a conversation about an email that I received, which I feel it deserves attention. Specifically about this particular show that I did a few months back. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. This is a professor, doctor. He's a DNA expert, genetics researcher, doctor, all the credentials, and he has come up with many controversial conversation in regards of the people of the book, or the people in the land who claiming to be the people of the book. Now, this is the show that I did, and I covered these type of subject. You guys could read it. Israel DNA Wars, Forbidden Test, right? You can go back on the show. On the actual show itself is show 155. Okay. So you guys could check out that show. But I want to have a conversation specifically on an email that I received that I feel it deserves attention. Right. So I'm going to read the email because it kind of blew my mind a little bit, and it kind of like it got me thinking. Sometimes, it's not how many people watch your show or who watch your show, right? That can connect the pieces, right? So this is the email that I received, and I want to read it for you guys because I think it was profound, and it kind of shook me for a little bit in regards of like, this is interesting. And I appreciate everybody's watching, and I appreciate the person who sent me this email, and I appreciate the person who actually forwarded the link to this person who forwarded me the email. So let me read the email real quick for you guys to understand what we're talking about, and I want to hear your comments. I'm going to put the link. Maybe you guys could come in. You're more than welcome. But I think this is worth, this email is worth discussing, right? And the reason why, I felt that we need to talk about this, but I also am acknowledging the sensitive nature of this conversation, so much that, hey, my 2 shows got taken down, and I got a strike on one of my channels, and I understand it's a sensitive situation. I get it, but I'm a type of guy that if something needs to be told, it needs to be told, right? It needs to be said. So this is the email I received. It was an anonymous email, obviously. They didn't want to give their information, their name, who they are. So I don't know who they are. And I also, we've been communicating, and they grant me permission to read this part of the email, right? So it reads as follows. Dear podcasters, I request that my identity remains confidential and anonymous. I was forward the link of your podcast on Edwin Edwick Research. That's the show that 155. I was a colleague of Edwin and had many conversations with him regarding his findings. Edwin is a complicated person. On the one hand, on the one hand, he is a passionate Zionist and believed that all Jewish people, Nazri, that's these Ethiopians, Sephardic, and Ashkenazi, have a right to live in Israel. On the other hand, he has strong ethnical values and believes in maintaining integrity in scientific research. Hence, while he believes that Ashkenazi Jews have a right to settle in Israel, he openly acknowledged that they are not the true descendants of Judea and excuse me, I call it brain freeze, Samaria, right? But are in fact largely descendants of converts to Judaism. This has placed his life in danger. This is the reason why I want to be sensitive about this conversation, because it is illegal to take DNA in the land which is called Israel today, because for this particular reason. Um, and I wonder why this particular email was sent to me, because I'm a little guy. This video I think only hit like about close to like 440. I think 442 now, right? It's not one of my greatest hits in regard to video numbers. I was wondering why he would trust me in this situation. I mean, I'm his little guy. Maybe he's sending this thing to everyone. I would like to know who is the person, because he says, I was forward the link of your podcast on Aaron Iquith, right? Iquith. So it was somebody who was watching my channel in my program who forwarded this link to him, and the anonymous person, is the person who sent me the email, right? Who knows this particular scientist and professor. So it's just a connection. I just think that, nothing is by coincidence in regards of they strike my channel dealing with this subject matter. They didn't strike episode 155, but they did strike the other episode that I did dealing with the subject matter, dealing with the Yay song and other stuff, right? So, and I get this email. I'm like, okay, if I'm being set up here, this is going on. I mean, what's I'm just a little guy. Why are they bothering me? There's other people talking about this issue on YouTube. I don't know why they they zero me on particular. I don't know. Maybe I'm playing the videos too long. Maybe I'm not pausing often enough. Maybe I'm not saying fair use. I don't know why. But I just felt that this email was extremely bizarre and strange, right? But let us continue reading. It says, this has placed his life in danger and wrestled in the capture of the field of genetics and genetic research of the Levant region by Zionist researcher, right? So this is capturing. He captured the DNA of people that come from the Levant. Levant region is Israel, right? It's considered to be Israel. He continues by saying, Edwin also acknowledged that commencing period to establish the state of Israel, the Ashkenazi Jews waged a ethnic cleansing program of sorts against Mazari Arab Jews and forced Sephardic Jews in Israel to adopt Ashkenazi custom and culture. And you are correct. The ancient Israelites were indeed dark skinned. In essence, Judaism or Zionism is another example of genocide, by white Europeans. This is why Ashkenazi could not relate to Sephardic or Masoretic communities. Please find attached document that outlines the history of the Ashkenazi people and the genesis of the Zionist movement. It is based on robust research and controversial conversation with Edwin. When you read it, you will understand how the Caucasian region has produced some of the most evil people of recent time, including Rabbi Nathan Malakowski, Benjamin Netanyahu's presidential uh, grandfather, part of grandfather. His father is grandfather from his father's side, and Menachem Mentu Schism, Skilson. So I guess this is talking about people that came from that region, and people from that region, or that region has produced one of the most wicked people in history. And he gave an example like uh, Benjamin Netanyahu's grandfather, uh, Mr. Menashkom I cannot pronounce that name. Forgive me. And he leaves with, I challenge you to dispute any single fact in this entire document. So I was like, okay, if I'm being set up here, and this is the document here, this is the book here. He sent to me. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it in the link. I think everybody should have this. I think everybody should I began to kind of scan through it. I haven't gone through the entire thing, but here's here's the link right here. Those that want it, please download it. Please download it. Right. So let's see here. Right. Let's see here. Okay. So let me just go over some of the things. So the title of this particular document, this book, is called From KHAZAR to Palestine: The Zionism Fallacy Theology, Global Peace and Security. Right. And let's go down to kind of go into the intro. This goes into the different countries that the Zionist movement first considered before they consider Israel. And then it goes into different, you know, subject, Jewish scholars who uphold the Khazarian hypothesis, text supporting the Khazarian hypothesis, and it goes in different subject that you could go into. And it goes from, DNA testing and the history of it is a very robust document that was put together, and I believe is worth mentioning, is worth talking about. This gentleman said to me, he was so concerned and he was so worried that he wanted just remain anonymous, right? He wanted to remain anonymous, right? Those that want to come in, let me also put the link for those that want to come in as well. There's the link here. Let me put the link also on the comment section. Let me see if I could do that here when I'm live. I think I can. I'm not sure, but let me double check. Okay. Okay. So I was okay. I know what to do here. Okay. Okay. All right. So those that want to come in, you're more than welcome to come in. I just want to have a conversation about this email. Is if I'm overreacting, if I am if what do you guys think about this? I just thought it was strange. I'm not going to be spending that much time here about this subject, but I just wanted to just kind of have this conversation specifically, you know, dealing what's been happening to my channel in the last few weeks, and why is this important to talk about, because is a thing that I see that people are concerned, right? If people are blocking me my channel and people are sending me email, this only means that it somebody is watching, somebody's concerned, and like I said, these things could simply be a thing that um, it could be simply a thing that um, I may be putting something into something that is not there, right? It could be all in my mind, but I think it's something that perhaps um, if especially people are doing or having conversations or let me put doing podcasts specifically about the subject matter. Just be careful, right? Just be careful, um, because and I put the link there for those that want to get the book or get the documentation. Let me no wait a minute. Well, I put the link for the stump for the uh, I put the link to come on the StreamYard, but I'm going to also put the book. Let me put here the book. Ba, 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 ba. You know what? Let me see if I could do it this way. And I could do it this way. And then I could do it this way. Bear with me, folks. So, okay. I see it in my screen that I frozen it. If I'm good in my end, okay. So listen, I'm good in my okay. All right. Let me do this. Make it up to date to make sure it's okay. All right, folks. So it's just one of these things that I feel that um, as I consider myself part of the Hebrew Israelite community. I think I know there's been other brothers out there, podcast creators that were at one point associated with them, uh, but they kind of walked away from the Israelite thing or identity, and but and I respect their decisions and I understand it as well. Sometimes I want to walk away from the Israelite community. But this whole concept of American blacks and American Latinos and indigenous people waking up or embracing the possibility that they are descendants of Israel is not salvation. However, you mattered. I think if you didn't matter, there would not be this, this war being fought in the Middle East over a piece of land. The who are the Israelites and who are they does matter. It does matter. It is a reason why we should care about um, what goes on. And the reason why I'm passionate about this in particular is for several reasons. But one of the reasons is that I believe there's going to come a time that uh, the Gentiles are going to wake up to this lie. As the Bible says that in that day, that many will come and say, "We have inherited lies." Right? Many will come from the east and the west and say, our fathers has inherited lies. So this Israelite conversation, who are the children of Israel? Don't let them trick you and make you think that it's not important. It is only not important when it comes to us. It doesn't matter when it comes to us. Now, your identity, if you believe you're Israel, is not salvation, right? This is not something that we're going to um, be saved just because of our bloodline. However, though, they care about your bloodline. Now, as a Hebrew Israelite, the way to come back to the Father can only be um, be by and through the Messiah, the Christ, right? Um, but they know and they're watching. And if this individual needed to kind of put together this email and send me this information, this book, and we're probably going to do a part two specifically addressing on this book because I received this email yesterday. I scanned through the book. I haven't had a chance to look through it, 100%, but it's one of those things that um, there's a lot of information there. And the fact that this person felt that it was necessity, to send me this email and also keep anonymous and feel that the gentleman who Edward, who is this genetic scientist and exposing the fact that the ancient Israelites were people of color, the uh, the people um, claiming to be Jews today, specific of the Sephardic, Ashkenazi community, is really oppressing the Sephardic community and oppressing the African Jews and things of that nature, the Ethiopian Jews, and so forth, so on. That's a problem. That's a problem. And as Christians, as people believe in the Messiah, I think we should not get politically involved in any way, shape, or form what's going on politically. But I just felt that this particular conversation was important. And especially what's going on today in America, right? I feel now that, you know, um, I look online, we're more divided than ever before. We're divided clearly in all these Israelite camps. Uh, we're divided, and even European churches, the Lutherans against the Catholics against the Protestant against this and that, and then everybody else is arguing about the Trinity, and everybody is just debating about nonsensical arguments. That's why I refuse. I think a while back I was having a conversation, I think with Vocab, and I think one of the topics he wanted to discuss is the Trinity. I said, I'm no longer having that discussion anymore because I don't think that's salvation driven importance. Whether God is and Jesus is the same person and three dispersed persons is insignificant to our salvation, right? Um, I think there are some arguments. I think debates are good and robust, and we could get to some level of truth. But I think what's happening now, I believe there is an awakening. I believe Americans are waking up to the fact that this government is not for them. The corruption of this government, right? The constant, revelation, even now with Doge and everything that happened, the world is this new discovery. They're waking up to the fact that America is not what we thought it was. And I just want to, especially the men, because what I'm seeing right now is that the men have to take control of this situation and come up with a solution. We have to go beyond just simply having real round table discussions, which is those important and valuable, but we have to come with solutions. And I'm calling upon all men that are going the direction towards God, spiritual men who believe in Christ and the blood that he shed for us. I'm calling for all men to come with solutions. If we are not dealing with roundtable discussions that are ending up with solutions and follow-ups, and this is what we need to do, then we're wasting our time. Keep saying it, and I'm going to continue saying it, that just because Donald Trump has won and we feel those are in the conservative lane feel, we're in good times, yada, yada, yada. And right now, I think because of Trump, he has slowed down what I was perceiving a direction or a directory or a push towards going to World War III if Kamala would have been president, right? So I think Donald Trump wants peace. I think he's sincere about that. But we don't know how long he's going to be there after 4 years, how is that something that's going to continue um, with that same energy is going to continue after Donald Trump, whoever's going to take over that office. But we have some time now. But now is the time to get ahead. Thank the Most High. My passport should be coming in a few weeks. Everything's working out. I want to be traveling to DR. And I'm going to be going to Africa. I'm going to be traveling. I think every man should be, learning how to travel and learning how to connect with other people outside this country, outside this region, outside of this Atlantic. You should kind of follow and be part of that, right? So, um, I'm not gonna stay long today. I just want to just share this video with you guys. I want to share this email of this particular gentleman who sent me this. Well, I don't know if he's a gentleman or female, but I'm assuming he's a gentleman. But I just felt it was something that uh, it was worth sharing with my audience to kind of show you guys a little what's going on in the backdrop. And all the emails, please keep them coming. I love them. I read all of them. I may not get to all of them right away. I know there was a question about the Most High's name. What's my stand on that? And also the baptism, brother, sister, excuse me, Theo had that question, and I'm going to be addressing that on the Shabbat class this week coming up. But I just felt that it's not paranoia when they if your concern is based on real merit. Um, I'm not wired to hold back my tongue. So even this, channel, I was talking to a friend of mine that was telling me to go, Bar, maybe you should not go on. Don't talk about this subject. Anything about, the small hats is going to put you in some hot water. You don't have the resources, the lawyers, and the long pockets to defend yourself and so forth, so on. So you just be careful out there. And I agree with them. I think, we need to be careful. And talking about the small hats, because when you have a empire or a dictator or someone in authority that is losing their power and losing their control on the masses, sometimes they could strike back in a very desperate, in a very, I would say, dramatic kind of way, right? And I'm not scared for me, but I'm just concerned about my family. But on the same token, it's one of those things that, I just don't like to shut up about something that I feel is right. And, this conversation about, you know, European lighter skinned folks, they are brothers and sisters. But I think we need to have a conversation about, you know, Europeans looking at themselves and adjusting their thinking when they approach this, right? Because it's not fair if, the concept of the Israelite returning back to Israel, but you only have the European small hats controlling the exit, the entrance, the who goes in, who is a Jew, who is not. There's no one within the Sephardic Jew and the other Jews from Africa who they're being accepted now to some degree by people, but they're not in the position of power and authority in Israel. And I think, the best thing that the state of Israel could do is to get rid of Netanyahu. I think he's bad for the country. I think we have to get somebody, you guys have to get somebody central left. Central right, I would say. Central right. This extreme is hurting the people. But, I don't want to focus too much on focusing on them because I think we have problems over here, specifically in the body of Christ, specifically with people, of color who I believe are the lost tribe of Israel. We have to start coming with a solution. I'm seeing too much division with it online, too much division between men and women. And I think, especially for men, it's not time for us to start arguing with women. If You find a woman who's under your who's down with your program, who wants to be under your authority and see not only wants to be under your authority, but see the world the way you see it. Because if she has the same outlook, if you have the same outlook, you guys are gonna work together because you both agree. So expand your horizon. You should not be spending too much time, brothers, in women's spaces debating back and forth. Uh, if you have somebody of the female persuasion that you're constantly fighting with, whether it be a girlfriend, someone who you're considering to marry, someone you already married, someone that you have children, and you're constantly at odds with one another, you have to take tough decisions and make tough decisions in regards to for your peace. Your peace is most important than anything else. Before you take care of everybody else, you got to take care of yourself. Don't be selfish and think work on things that ain't problems. Yeah, I get that. But if you are constant in battle with your significant other, that's not your significant other. That's the person who's gonna snitch you out, rat you out, backstab you. Nature, the universe is trying to tell you that's not the person for you. Right? Don't let them trick you to make you think that, this is normal. Couples argue all the time. This is what couples do. That's a lie. So, brothers, I hope you guys and sisters, but especially you brothers, I hope you guys was able to enjoy this small conversation and this email. But I just wanted to share it. I thought it was interesting. That someone felt that they wanted to share this with me and felt that this was true. And my beloved brothers in the United States of America, but in the diaspora specifically, North, Central, North, South, East, you're not wrong. We are the children of Israel. But that's not salvation. They know this. They know this. So you don't have to think that you're crazy. You don't have to think that you're insane. You don't have to second guess yourself. You're the children of Israel, people of color here in America. You're fulfilling the prophecy of the Bible. But let me remind you, according to the prophecy, specifically of Israel, it says that the majority of them are going to be blinded, except for the elect. But the rest will be blinded. So there's going to be a small group of Israelites that are going to be saved. I believe, this is my personal opinion, that there are going to be more Gentiles in number that are going to be saved than in Israel. Why? Because in the book of Revelation, chapter 14 and chapter 7, specifically in chapter 7, it talks about the 144,000. And then I saw an innumerable number of every nation, of every tongue, every creed. You cannot number. So I believe that there's going to be a small group of Israelites that are going to be saved, not the majority. So with much power comes responsibility. So if we, the people of color throughout the world, supposed to be, not all people of color, but we all understand the tribes and so forth, so on. And the 12 tribe chart is a good foundation. It needs to be tweaked a little bit, in my opinion, and there's certain prophecies, certain tribes that we need to tighten up a little better. But it's a good effort. We have to come back through Christ. It's through Him. But we have to prepare. And I have not have come on this show as often as I should. My personal opinion. I've been trying to come on at least twice a week. I got 2 jobs. I'm preparing to do like a month trip with in DR for like a month because I'm going to try to plan some things up there. I'm preparing, so I'm multitasking because everybody's going to need an extra strategy. And an extra strategy doesn't mean necessarily you have to get in a plane and go somewhere else, but you need to be in a situation that you could be self-sustained. And it's not going to be in these major cities. And I mean, I live in these major cities. And that's the reason why I'm preparing, right? Shalom, shalom, some to light, shalom, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you. So I'm going to leave you guys with this, and I'm going to leave you guys with the understanding that don't second guess yourself in who we are. They know we Israel. We are Israel. We should not apologize for that. We should not look down the floor and say, "Well, I think." No, we are the children of Israel. There's more evidence that we are the children of Israel. That there's evidence in many other subject matters. Shalom, Sister Challenge. All praise to the Most High God. Yeah, amen to that. So I just want to leave you guys with this. I just want to leave you with the encouragement. I want to just share this email with you guys. I felt it was worth mentioning. I'm going to be back this Saturday, the Most High God willing. And remember, Christ is King. Shalom.